Good afternoon, everybody. Annette Ornelas here from Southwind Designs, and today I'm bringing you a very special quilt snacks because it has a little demo on there, a live demo that shows you how to do some of the piecing for the blocks that you may learn some tips and tricks to make it easier to piece the blocks for the upcoming mystery. But of course, you don't even have to be in the mystery to learn how to piece this block, and it'll help you learn how to put other blocks together. This has been kind of a crazy week, so I'm kind of at the end here, and I'm, having to, today is Friday, so you can see how crazy my week has been. But I really wanted to show you how to piece this block, especially because the mystery block of the month is actually still on early bird till the 1st of February, and I didn't want you to miss out. So I thought I would show you how easy this mystery is. I know, Anne, I've seen some of your fabrics. I know you're excited. I am so excited to show you some of the new blocks that I came up with. And do you know, all of those blocks are so unique and different. They have never been published before. But of course, I can't give you those blocks because they're part of the mystery. But we had a prior mystery, the Holiday Dazzle, and there's a block in there that I'm going to use to show you how to put it together, and also do a little top stitching. Now, the new mystery actually has 3 sizes of blocks available, and so the large and then a smaller size and also a bonus mini. So this demo that I'm doing is going to be on the larger size, larger than this block. So this would be, kind of a medium small size, and there's a larger block. So if you're actually making a large quilt, it goes very quickly because the blocks are bigger. And so that's another little trick that I like to use. So I'm going to turn this camera around and focus it on my sewing machine, and hopefully this setup will work. It's a little bit different from what I normally do. I'm a little sideways because I've changed my room around, as I showed you guys last time. But so what I'm doing, I'm going to just switch you around and put you in towards my sewing machine, and hopefully this will work. You're not there yet. I know I have to kind of tilt it down a little bit. So I started sewing on the block that I showed you, and let me pull it out. So this is the block that I'm sewing. Come up. Oops, and let me try that again. I hope I didn't lose anybody. It just came out of the clip, but I think it's okay. All right, so this is the block in the previous size, and now I'm going to show you how to put especially this together. There's a little trick to make sure that these folded triangles, they can meet in the middle. And I think this will be really helpful for you. So the first thing I've done is I've done this strip, and now I'm going to do the other side, and then we're going to go to the inside, okay? All right, so I'm trying to get back closer here so you can see the actual foot. And so I've done the first part, the top, and now I'm going to do the other part. Now this fabric is batik, so there's no right or wrong, which is kind of nice. I don't have to worry about that. And I actually, on the bigger pieces, you can just, fold them as you go if they're big enough. If they're small enough, you definitely want to touch this with an iron so it holds its shape. Okay, so I'm going to line this up on the top and the sides. So it lines up right here on the raw edges and the side. And see this fold part? That has to point down. That points down towards the inside of the block, because if the fold was on the top, it wouldn't work, okay? So now I'm going to take the other piece, and if you want to, you can always use pins. I'm just lining it up because I've done this a few times, and it's just as easy for me than pulling out pins. And plus, of course, the secret is that I keep running over pins, and that's not good for my machine. So now the thread I have in there is a purple thread, and so you should be able to see the actual seam. And what I'm going to do now is get my little scissors, cut this off so you can see the seam, the dark seam right here. And when you open that, it looks like this, which is kind of weird, but you're going to just grab the inside of it and pull it open, and it makes a triangle like magic. Isn't that great? It's still fun. Every time I do it, I have fun doing it. I don't have too much room, so you'll have to excuse me. And so I'm going to just finger press it here because there's no way I can just move my phone around every which way. And what I like to do after I finger press is I take a pin and I just kind of keep this open so I know things are in the correct place. All right. So the other piece has already been done. So I'm going to do the side pieces, and it has two dark. And you can always change your colors. When I say dark and light and medium, you can use any color you want. What that means is that you want a contrast between your colors. Okay, so now we're going to do just like we did before, but this time you really have to pay attention that you don't put your fold all the way down. The fold has to kind of float over the bottom edge here, because that is your next seam allowance, and right sides together is your next piece. Just push it through. We're going to do two of them. And I have this already folded. I pre-folded it. It's actually a strip, okay? I pre-folded it because I don't have an iron here close to the machine. I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. Okay. The next one, so I have two of those. And I'm just going to clip behind it. We've already done that. Now, when I open that one, it also has one of those flying geese pieces, a dimensional flying geese, of course. And again, I'm going to open it, maybe pin it. Whoops, that was my stand. Did you hear it? Maybe pin it, and then I need to use one of those squares. And of course, in the cutting instructions, it tells you exactly what pieces to do if you're doing it, or any block really. And I just want to make sure that this folded piece points into the corner. And then I'm going to start sewing. And after I start sewing, then I'm going to line up the bottom. Okay, this works especially great for larger pieces. The pin is out. And I'm sewing down. So I need to do that for both pieces, but I'm not, because I want to show you the other part. So the other part is that there is two pieces. Where did the other side go? Right here. Two pieces of the lighter color and two pieces of the darker color, and they are meeting in the center. So, oops, hang on just 1 second. I just had all my papers flying around here, but it's always good to, my patterns have extensive graphics, so why not use them, right? Okay, so this is the light, and I'm going to line this up so the raw edges are on the outside. Let me get you up there a little bit so there's more room, like that. And there is a fold here in the middle. Both folds are pointing towards the middle. Look, and they're kind of meeting like this. And all you have to do is put your other piece on top. Now, this piece has been folded before, which is kind of nice because you see where the center is also. But here's the little trick. If you haven't done this before, sometimes it's hard to keep these two pieces connected in the middle. Then what I like to do is I just use a little piece of masking tape instead of a pin, and I just stick it on there temporarily, and then I'm going to put the other piece on just like you would a sandwich and stitch right up. Okay, now let me put a little feeder in there so I can show you what happened to that. Okay, so what happens is that you now have this piece here. And see, it's still together, which is kind of nice. You didn't have to worry about anything moving around on you. Okay, so let me take my little sticker, and I actually just stick that to the machine. I use that probably 20, 30 times before I give it up. Okay, so here are those loose pieces, and yes, they still look weird, don't they? But now we're going to grab the inside, and we're just going to move it out and flip it on its head. Open it. Finger press it, and that's where the pins come in again. That's what I use my pins for. And now the other side. And open it, put it on its head. And again, Open it like that. One more pin. Open. And now you have that piece. So let me show you where it is here. This piece right here is the same as this smaller piece, except it's bigger. I just thought it would be fun to show you on a bigger block. So in the mystery, you'll be getting this size, and of course the little tiny mini size as well. Okay, so let me show you how you can top stitch that. I'm just going to use one of those pieces that I've made before in a smaller size because it's already done. And I'm just going to stitch in place. And of course the thread color should match, but this one won't match because I wanted it to be visible. Let's see if you can see it. And I'm going to peel this back and just gently stitch along the outer edge. That's the original folded edge that I'm stitching on, but it's biased, so it can kind of fold over without the wrinkles. Now this machine foot, for that particular machine type, I can see the needle, and that's what I'm interested in. If you have a different machine, it's not going to be a problem. Just pick a foot that is open toe or clear, something that you can actually see what the needle does, because it's so easy, if you can't see the needle, for it to fall off. Okay, so I'm going to stitch, and just before I get to the corner here, I'm going to sink my needle in, lift my presser foot and turn it, and then I'm going to fold one piece over the other. Now you can just take your needle out, and then one will be lapped over the top, and that's how you get a sharp point. Okay, so let me go to the other side, stitch in place, and clip. So what do you think? You can see how it's very sharp, and of course I'm going to do that on the other side, and so that should help you getting some of these perfect curves the way you want it and putting your pieces together. All right, so what do you think about that? Was that something useful that you can use? I hope so. Mindful of the pieces I've been working with are underneath here, and so I wanted to show you some of the tricks that I use to be mindful of fabric and not wasteful. So here are some of the pieces. This is all stuck together. You can see I had some batiks that had a little gold on there, which I haven't used before, and I thought this would be really cool to use for extra blocks in the mystery. So I haven't used all of these fabrics yet, but I pulled them out because I like them, and I think they go together really well. So I hope you can see them. Let me pull this over here so I can kind of scooch it in here. So they're all batiks in my case, but you don't have to use batiks. You know that. You can, of course, use whatever you like. And let me see if I can get more light on this. There we go. That's better. Okay, so something that I think would be a great strategy is to kind of get like colors together so your quilt doesn't look so colorful that your eye has no place to rest. So I've picked some things that you can see is similar, and I can use those interchangeably. So these kind of are very similar. Then this green and these teal colors are sort of similar, and they go together. So your quilt doesn't have too many colors in there. And then I also have the purple. Can you see it? Let me see if I can pull this out. So this is an example of fabrics you could use. Of course, you can use, any other pattern fabrics or a black background fabric. I just am happening to use something like this. It's actually not that one, but it's very similar. It's a very light fabric, so these fabrics can shine. So just to give you a little bit of an example, and I'm going to write another newsletter to show the fabrics that I have so people can see, what's going on. But here's one more trick before I stop for the day, and let me move this over here. One more little trick is when I cut things, this is the stuff that is left over from the big one, and there's more blocks that I'm going to piece with this, so teach on. And this is from the next size down block, which I call the small block. And so whatever I'm done with, I sort all these pieces so I can reuse them. So I don't cut a new strip each time I have a block. I'm going to look and see if I want that color. Maybe there's a leftover part of a previous strip. That'll save you a ton of fabric in the end, especially, of course, of background, because you always need that. But, you know, the other pieces, that also saves you a lot of fabric if you don't cut a new strip each time. So, what do you think? So let me know if you have any questions. Is starting on the 15th of February, so not much longer, but the early bird is over on the 1st, and after that I'm going to pick a winner for the fabrics that Kate Colleran gave us, and those are really cool too. So let me switch you back here. Let me see if it works. Oops. There we go. And we're back. And most of everything else is basically a little bit of my background decoration. So the blocks for the mystery are rectangles, so you can use them both ways, but there's different sizes, 3 different sizes, and I hope that you saved this little demo so you can refer back to it. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them, and I hope you have a great day. Rest of the week and weekend is coming. And pick out your fabrics, and please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Have a great day. Bye.